Hi, stream. Welcome to my stream. I don't know if you can hear me. Probably can. Um, I'm not very good at this, especially at 1:53 at night, a.m. Because I'm trying to finish this really, really fast, I guess. Because on Saturday, um, we have another thing I need to do that there was a huge argument about. Well, not like huge, but there's an argument about um just like we have these like little events that we do that are based around these builds you might have seen. Um and there was this plan that the other team had 1000 suns that failed. Um and so I don't really know what they like exactly mean by this. Today, Sin had said, "Oh my god, I hate mobs, bro. I'm gonna lose it." There's this funny thing that Sin had said in a chat today, um, that like I'm pretty good. Like this was to me that I'm pretty good at like deducing what's going on or what the other team's gonna do next, but I'm not very good at deducing what like their moral issues are. Mostly because I don't really care, but also because I'm not very good at it. Like I know that. Um Forgot my point. Or okay, no, I remember my point. Um that they with these little events, a few days ago, which is 2 days ago, I think, 3 days now, I jumped me, Leo, and Mari had jumped Van and Jay. We called Mari in later because Nara and Jess had come out of the ether. Nara is a like right under my level. Um, Jess I beat 9 times out of 10, but there is still that one time, you know. Um, and it is pretty difficult to to take on both of them. Um, and win, I guess. I died that day. I think Van was streaming. Um, that's like the first time I died in a while. And because I was playing very, very stupid. Um, okay, I think I just missed my point entirely, actually. I trailed off. I don't. What was my point? Oh my god. This shit difficult. Um, oh, that. I don't really know what they mean by their motives, I guess. Because we do run these little events, and the fun chat or fun argument we had uh, was them. Their whole goal was to run to the end, uh, and to lock it off, I guess. Um, I'm not sure how much of our arguments were streamed. I know Chips uh, streamed it, where or at least some of it. We had longer discussions off stream. Um, just because Nara also joined the call and we weren't really keen on talking about like where they might have went wrong because then there was an arc stream where they had a debate. Um, but basically, they don't really want to participate. I guess in our silly little games is the gist of it. They don't want to deal with us. Look at us, I guess. Because their whole thing was, we're gonna run away. You can't touch us, and you can't do anything about it. Um, which is kind of implausible with the way we are. If it was their plan was a failure from the start, in the same way ours was a failure from the start, I knew from December our plan would not be completed. Um, because by December we hadn't started it. We started it in when was it? Late January, barely like February, I guess. That's a pretty damn long time, bro. That's like we didn't have a lot of time. And I was really pushing for the server to end. Um, in May, which would have given us enough time without like an added stressor. Um, but a lot of people were tired of whatever was going on. Um, just generally, like character wise, as like people. Um, and I like I kind of see it now. I'm not stressed by these sort of things. Like if like I'm having a problem, I'll leave. Um, well, actually, I'm not quite sure. Um, Arc is a different story to me, but it's like I don't know. I didn't want to. I think I told Arc at some point, like, hey, I really don't think this shit's gonna work. I haven't thought about it. So, like, I've thought this since December, but I can't really remember if I told Blue that or if I told Arc that. And I'm guessing it's probably Blue. Um, yeah, leaving is definitely. um, but I have a pretty good history of I played these kinds of SMPs. Like I ruin things like a lot. Like that's kind of my thing. Um, but the thing is, Pantheon started a lot different than what I was used to, and continued to be a lot different than I was used to. I'm not a builder. I do not build. I'm an artist. That's about it. But I don't build. this is this is very new. Um, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Uh, a fun comparison we do is like these builds are kind of really similar to our art styles, and yeah, very simple. I hate slabs. I hate stairs. Um, this build was an exception, as you see, but like I'm not used to this sort of thing, and so with the emergence of Pantheon's plan of being like, okay, let's build a huge fuck off maze. Let's change the perspective. That shit's cool as fuck. I mean, like, of course I'm gonna go along with that. And I saw Arc out at the beginning of the season because I knew Arc was did big projects. Like we did the zine together. Like we have past history of like off server being friends, or at least like I guess coworkers. Or, well, Arc was really my boss and all that, but Arc's a very good manager. That's why I saw Arc out the wrong way. I went the wrong way. Whoops. Um, and stalked Arc at the beginning and just followed Arc around until, and I guess it hasn't ended. I've continued following Arc. Um, but yeah, I was doing something very different. I've betrayed every other team I've been a part of, off server, like in other servers beforehand. Um, just because it's interesting. It's like a lot of those people are like, it's oh my god, I'm gonna crash out. I'm sorry, my fault. Um, but like Pantheon was a lot different than what I was used to, and two artists I very much admired were with me, friends of mine. Um, and so I was like, okay, this time's gonna be different. I'm not gonna leave, and I haven't. Um, no matter like what issues I've had, which is a lot of them. Like I've had a lot of issues with a lot of the everything. Um, like we had that one failsafe plan that was like, I guess I could do 5 of these up. And I guess I mean, I don't want to leave either. This is like cool. Like, this is interesting. And, but it has caused me a lot more grief than I would have expected. Um, but I do love my teammates. Maring's coming back tomorrow, or like, at least we're catching Maring up, on everything that's happened. And it's been a lot that's happened, and that Maring's pretty interested in. Um, and Maring has this gorgeous, gorgeous build that we're gonna need to complete. Um, and it is a panopticon. And recently, I was the one that suggested the panopticon because there is a um, philosopher, Michael Foucault. uh, who made this, who wrote the book Discipline and Punish. Um, and it has a little subsection or chapter called Panopticism, and it talks about one, plague, two, prisons, and three, just general control. And the theme of the Panopticon is control. But in that book, uh, he calls it a theater. And coincidentally enough, Mare's build has every little cell room as a theater. I've made a lot of theater references, mostly in regards to war theater. Uh, but at some point, there was a little stage on the server. Um, I think it was made by Nara, but I really couldn't tell you. Um, yeah, I think Will um, talk, talks about folk a lot, or has at least mentioned it in passing. Um, but yeah, I'm a huge. We're all nerds, bro. We're all nerds. Um, I think I am especially, but that's because a lot of the server is political, and that's my major. So here I am. But also read a shit ton, so makes sense. Um, but yeah, the theater thing was stop, don't point at me. The theater thing was coincidental. But I think Mering also has like a history with these kinds of books. Um, I'm not sure though. I'd have to like actually check. But yeah, it's been interesting that because we end on April 5th. This is one build out of what do we have left? The Panopticon, Sunset, and the Clock Tower. Clock Tower we already have all the little pieces for. Um, Panopticon we have some of the pieces for. It's kind of huge. I'm a little nervous that we won't finish it, and that's like the one thing I want to finish. Um, but yeah, I don't know, it's looking kind of rough. Um, Clock Tower is definitely we got all the pieces for it. Sunset, Mari is working on. Um, I'm not sure how far along that is, but we got like the stage set up at least. Doesn't seem like that hard of a build, but we're probably not realistically. We're not gonna get to everything, and that's kind of unfortunate. Um, we still have the main like question to ask, and we got people to kill, but it's whatever. If I don't get to kill people, it's fine, I guess. There was this lingering thought in the back of my mind, which is why this stream is, I guess, colon 3, um, and why I have thought about starting this stream off not as a muted stream, um, but I get really distracted when talking, so and I have this build to finish before like 3 a.m., which I got an hour, so it'll probably go past that. Um, but the lingering thought in the back of my mind being if I wanted to continue the failsafe no matter what, um, because our enemies have sunk low, have sunk very, very low. This is lime? What the fuck? What was I doing? Lime? Where? Whatever. Oh my god. um, and then dealing with said consequences of that. Oh my god. Um, I'd have like my plan was to have command blocks running longer than dude, I'm not phased. I don't even care. I don't care that I'm not gonna land this. Okay. And then deal with the resulting consequences of that. Uh, but it's something I'd talk to Mari about, considering we only have a week. Oh my god. We really do only have a week. There's a lot happening on Saturday. Um, I have to make that puzzle, which is the friendship puzzle. I streamed the making of it a couple days ago, or like the full building of it. It's like in the server. Uh, have I made the puzzle? No, because um, because I don't know. It's hard, but I do have one. Yeah, the hands one. Um, and the puzzle idea for that is going to be it's all communication, which is something apparently their team is really struggling with right now, and for like the history of ever. Not to say I didn't expect that. Um, but yeah, all communications based. Basically, each hand has a name. Um, the angel hand, which is orange hand, is called port side. The other side is called starboard. Um, starboard is theoretically or metaphorically a nuclear submarine and is trying to plot its course and attack port side, which is a regular vessel. So the amount of people on that team, uh, yeah, we kind of had to shift around a bit because Styx was also assigned to be on friendship, um, because Styx just doesn't have a team. So we're like, ah, yeah, just join friendship. Um, and apparently, I got a beautiful message from Sariema. Well, it might have been Nar. I think it was Nar, saying, yo, we're gonna need an incentive on this one, or like, we're not doing this, because their whole thing is, we're not participating. I personally find an action to be a stupid plot point, but whatever floats their boat, I guess. Like, good on them for sticking to the man, bro. But to throw their own little tantrum about not getting what they wanted, whatever. Um, hopefully Sterling 12. Have you? But oh wait. But yeah, it's a lot of communication, and they said, well, they didn't know that at the time. They, yeah, it was. Um, which kind of makes sense, but like after hearing about all they did, I'm like, damn, are we really the villains here? But ah, we just had it was a long double-sided argument, and they really did not make themselves look better, with oh my god, with Ark's debate, I guess, or it was more like a roast session because Nar didn't say shit, like, and they don't have to prove anything to us, but they had an audience and there were people watching them, so why not put on their own show of making themselves look good? Well, maybe it's because they can't look good in this situation. To call people batches, to have like it was just like it's a kind of control that we don't even have, that we didn't even want, that they decided this is the only way, this is the only way, we can't fight our impossible enemies, we're oh so evil. And the most we've done is kill people. But based on Betty's reaction to whatever Chips did, which was betray Will, because Will planned to leave first. Oh my god, I can speak years and years on their guilt and how it doesn't fix anything. And how they're oh so guilty about every little action they do, every destructive action. Then why do it if you get so guilty about it? Betty's was the only one I excuse because I can't say I don't like Betty. Betty's a person I respect. But like a lava subway, Betty hugely regretted that. But at least Betty doubled down on it and said, you know, that was kind of fucked up of me, wasn't it? Instead of being like, oh, we had to do it. We had to do it. No, don't leak, but I think I've said before that I do have a kind of respect for Betty in a way. Um, I can't say it's crumbs because this is like full on like, yeah, this is Betty. We had a plan. Oh my god, was this even streamed? Me and Mari had like a huge crash out. Our little sign room. Um, where we had a plan to go total annihilation mode, kill everyone, ban everyone, or attempt to, completely abandon Ark and Void, trap them in a little obsidian box at the world border with the Guardian, uh, trap wardens around it so people can get to them very easy. Whatever, that's not part of the point. The banning everyone is the point. Um, the few people I didn't want to ban, Betty was definitely included on that list. Betty was the first person I thought of. Betty was the first to take action, and she was also like unafraid of it at least, and she didn't regret it like everyone else did. At least at the start. Love of Subway was a completely different story. I don't know what happened there, because that really only hurt Ark and Mare, and not Cogmented, who was causing most of the damage. Um, which could be seen as a win because it did hurt my teammates, but I have a very different kind of care for my teammates and for the server as a whole than um, that side, or I guess 1000 Suns do. Um, I can't say I like appreciate my teammates suffering, but it's something I do kind of feed off of, just of that suffering in general. But yeah, um, Betty was definitely a person I had my eye on, aside from political gain, which is kind of strange. Yeah, it was a weird target, um, but something that they definitely, I don't think, thought about, though I had explicitly told Evie that, hey, I didn't build this shit. I was here, I carved it out, but I don't really have strong attachments to this thing besides like my teammates that built it. Um, so I guess that was kind of the goal, but just you can't. It's hard to destroy something that Cogmented loves, I'd say. Um, but it was interesting to see that they did it in general, or that they did something, because I really, really pushed it. Um, because I wanted them to do something. This is before I knew about their little end plan that was apparently 3 months in the making, but despite having so many flaws, I don't know. It was a good idea, or at least like an interesting one, but definitely not very foolproof with the amount of people they had and how they treated people. They would have had people that betrayed, and the moment one of us got in, it's kind of over. They can't, like, Nara's there, but they would have left out Jest. And Nara's, the end is a pretty easy place to kill people, and I beat Nara every time, at least solo. And the rest of them, they don't PvP, they don't fight. So you have your one guard dog, you have a bunch of, like, oh my god, do I not have enough? Oh my god, I'm not mad. Oh wait, never mind. 15, we're good. Um, okay. But yeah, they only had Nara, no other PvPers, and one Cogmented getting in is kind of a death sentence for everyone involved. Um, and Evie was planning to betray. Interesting, cool. But now that they have, now that they're stuck here, what are they gonna do? And the answer, probably nothing. I can't like Nara's blown up spawn. We had their idea to restore spawn, and we did that like one little bit just to see what would happen. Um, and what we expected to happen happened. It got blown up, and now spawn is really fucking ugly. But whatever, good on him. But yeah, I don't know how they're gonna live with themselves, and I guess they don't. I guess they run off into their little corners. They feel a little pity for themselves, feel a little regret, and that's the end of it. But that's not how I'd want it to end. Our plan is pretty simple and not the most exciting, and I'm not sure if Mari is very happy with it either. And so that's why I've been considering the failsafe for a bit now. Just I don't know. It feels wrong, and it definitely is, but it is the season to do it, you know? Like next season, like Cogmented didn't do it this season. So probably not gonna do it next. And it'd be a curveball, but not like the biggest one to just do it here. But if I was gonna do it, I should have prepared months and months ago. That shit takes time. Speaking from experience on that one, Jesus. But whatever. Well, I need to talk it out. I don't really see the. I see the negatives. Um, yeah, I do see the negatives. But God, wouldn't it be cool just to do something terrible now that our enemies have done the same? I mean, our enemies, I'm not sure if they see it in the way that we do, because I'd be hurting people the way that we've always hurt people, and in a way that we, uh, they don't. We attack people, I guess. We hurt people in that regard, but we don't hurt people the way they did. They kind of cast out people, they isolated people, and that's not what we do. We've included everyone in this small little plan, and we've done our best to, I guess, acknowledge everyone. Like the end question is, was it worth it? We are asking them about their experience, and I'm really unsure of the answers. It was but I guess we'll see what they do. Apparently, Nara and Sari might have something, but also unsure because they also depend on inaction. They say we're not gonna play your silly little games, and the game is like fun and friendship. Like my puzzle wouldn't have been very scary, and they're still gonna do it after some like debating. But Jesus, I just find them interesting at this point. I can't really acknowledge them in any light that I is respected by me. Hey, hey Scorch, first time in chat. Yeah, working on Morning Glory's little puzzle project and discussing my feelings, I guess. I mean, they haven't really been feelings, they've been more like uh fucking around, I guess. Like explaining thoughts. I guess they are feelings. Opinions. They're opinions, not feelings. About teams, about other such things. I can't really predict what the enemy team is gonna do, and I'm kind of. I talked to Archaeopteryx. My fault. I don't really know how to pronounce your other like your actual username. Was I not supposed to say that? I mean, Ark says it on her streams. It's probably yeah, it's probably okay. But yeah, Scorch is how I know you. My fault. Um, yeah, divorce has been an interesting time, and it's very close to coming to an end. And I want to do something big for it, but I know with like time we have. No, my fault. I'm sorry for perceiving you. I'll be blind next time. Let me please. But I don't exactly know how to do this any other way. Uh, besides being terribly, terribly destructive. I don't know. It'll be. Yeah. I'm unhappy. Yeah, the ending divorce forever. Honestly, we'll probably be starting again in July. Um, and a very different kind of thing, I guess. We've kind of understood what we are able to do, what we can't handle. Um, I saw some people like on fucking Twitter.com being like, "Yo, let's make. Is it okay to be terribly destructive? I don't know. Um, in a unplayer based way. Uh, well, I don't know. I've never. This is like different. That's why I want to talk to Mari about it again. But I feel like every time I talk to Mari about these sorts of things, it's gonna be like the worst possible option, um, which isn't a bad thing per se, but um, like Ark is very, I don't know, Ark's very unsure of me right now. I think, or is like trusting in me not to do shit. That's kind of scary, but I don't know how to behave any other way. But we got a lot of things to do, not a lot of time, and just like a little helping hand of beautiful schematic placing. I don't know. Not a good idea. Oh, and other such things of like making the walls higher and making them out of bedrock and I don't know. There's like a merit to doing things as a player and solely as a player, but there's also a merit in this being kind of my only chance to do so in a significant manner. But we've done a lot of significant things in significant manners, and I can't really say the same for my enemy. So is this overkill? Yes, it is overkill. Is it really bad and inherently evil and is going to make a lot of people upset and is going to make my teammates upset? Yes, very much so. So, in some ways, it is not okay to be inherently destructive, no matter what I possibly want. And that's always been the issue, though, of what I want. And Ark saying, nah, you can do whatever you want. And then I can't do whatever I want. There's been a lot of times where Ark says, no, you can't kill people. And I have to be like, yes, sir, Archaeopteryx. And I don't really mean it. That's the way things go with teammates, I guess. Um, I guess. I'm not really sure if that's how teammates work. And I guess I'll never know. But talking with Ark is something I wanted to do because I've had so many, you know, plans of betrayal. I've had three that I literally all told Archaeopteryx straight to her face. Um, and weirdly enough, she's forgiven me every time, which is not okay, at least in my eyes. But what am I supposed to do? Be like, no, Archaeopteryx, you're supposed to hate me. I'm not that kind of groveler. I'm gonna be real. I got my job. I got my little thing I do, and a lot of times within this team, I'm unable to do it. I'm not able to get revenge for Ark or like protect Ark in any way that I'd want to, or like to the extent I'd want to. Yeah, and I very much don't deserve it. Like objectively, I do not deserve forgiveness. But what am I supposed to do? Ark is like very self-sacrificial, and I feel like if I feel bad, then Ark's gonna feel bad. And I don't want Ark feeling bad. But it seems like everything I do is kind of not gonna go very well for either of us. And it's just something I think Ark tolerates. I'm not a very good teammate, but I'm also not a very bad one. I can't be let go, and I can't be hurt in any real way. And I like when my enemy does things. I like everyone being at their fullest potential. And Ark very much yelled at me about that. Um, because I do goad our enemies into doing things that are kind of destructive to our team. Because I want to see my enemy succeed as much as I want my teammates to succeed. Maybe a little less than. But I just want to see what they can do. To the detriment of anyone, I guess. Not very appreciated. But I can't blame them. My enemies don't love me either, so it's really a one-sided thing. So when I tell my teammates about it, they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Which, fair enough. I think Void was especially disturbed by it, but me and Void also don't talk very much. And even if we did, I don't think that would change. Yeah, fun of the game, fun of the game. Because, yeah, this is fun to me. This is like. I love watching my enemies. Because I did kind of make them this way. I like watching my work. Yeah. Uh, Me and Void both had a weird thing with betting. I think Void's thing about it is kind of over with now. I don't know what happened, but it seems like kind of a Void choosing someone over someone else in that Betty scenario. Yep, that was a close one. Um, there's a lot of things I don't know about my team's cross team relationships. Um, Blue and Nara had some weird shit going on. I don't question Blue's relationships. Me and Blue's relationship is very weird, um, in the way that brothers are, but rough. Um, yeah, I don't know what went on with Blue and Nara. I couldn't even guess. They had some book exchange. They had like actual talks, and it was really just Blue being antagonistic, I think, to Nara. Um, but it really wasn't anything more than that. But it seems so extreme that I think there's something else going on. And there usually always is something else going on when it comes to Blue. Blue the squirrel, bro. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with him sometimes. But yeah, Blue's very good at keeping things quiet in a way that is too quiet, I guess. Blue at some point, or I think forever, at least, wanted me to dig into their relationships. Um, and I didn't at the time. I was pretty busy. Just with this plan in general, with school. Um, with it being like my first year in college, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But Ark started digging instead, and Blue got really upset about that. So I don't know what Blue sees with me in particular. That's kind of more tolerant. Like Blue had once written me a book. I guess I can go through my books. None of you have seen my books. um, they're kind of all over the place. But me and Blue had written a couple things to each other. This was before we were teamed. Mm. No, 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 no. Where is it? Okay. This. Oh yeah. But I had told Blue. This is before that we were teams. That if I had answers that I couldn't yet share, and Blue just kind of accepted that I'd take a long time, and uh, that's unusual, I guess, for other people. Or, oh my God, you've seen none of these, but I don't know what the fuck's going on with Blue and Arc either. Oh my God, they're weird. They're having some sort of problems. Sometimes I think they're fake problems, um, but I'm not so inclined to figure this one out. They can deal with their shit. I don't know. Um, with my fucking other half and my like brother, I guess, fighting each other, whatever. I don't care. Um, yeah, we do have some interesting inner team relationships, I guess. Any team with more than three people is gonna have some sort of something going on that their other teammates just don't know about. Um, which my team is no exception. But it is watching interesting watching them fight sometimes. Like Void and Mari have issues, or are currently having a lot of issues. Funny enough. Am I lagging? No, I don't know. But yeah, me and Ark have issues, and the people that have issues are strange. What's happening? Oh, whatever. Um, because I guess all of us have issues. Me and Blue don't really have issues. Um, and me and Mari don't really have issues. I think we both kind of want the same thing. I think if I brought up the failsafe plan to Mari would be like, "Yeah, okay, let's do it." Which is why I'm kind of scared to talk to Mari first. I'd rather talk to Ark, but there's also the conflict of Ark always being like, "No, you cannot do this." That's my gay Archaeopteryx voice. Um, where I wasn't allowed to kill people sometimes, or I wasn't allowed to engage in any sort of combat because it'd make other members of our team unsafe. Well, because we're builders. we you would just get attacked if we started attacking people in theory, but I'd hardly seen our enemies do anything, so God bless to them. There was one, at least two pieces of opposition to any sort of building project. Um, one with Betty carting us, and the other one with I think Will blowing up our storage, our one of our places of obsidian storage, and we had kind of had to work around that. It's hard to tell when it's tough relationship feelings for regular reasons and when it's tough relationship issues because yeah, and our relationship issues aren't things hidden from out of malice. I guess between me and Ark sometimes it is, um, but please place. Yeah, it is hard, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. We solve enough things with the right amount of communication, and if we don't solve things, who cares? Something else will happen because that's the way we are. Maybe it's a bad mindset to have with things just expecting to fall into place, but for better or for worse, and I don't care if it's for worse. Maybe I do care if it's for I don't know. It's hard to tell because I don't want this to end badly. I don't want it to end boring. Hmm. But is there a way for it to end boring with all we've done? Debatable, I guess. Because what do they find boring? They've called us boring or ordinary before, but I think it's synoptics trying to get under our skin with it. So better to not pay attention to it. Um, because I really don't care what synoptics thinks. Who gave up after one of their plans failed? One of them, and yeah, it was a big plan, but it was also a stupid plan. So who to blame? But synoptics himself. And right, forgot about this. Oops. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with my team, and I don't know what to do with my enemies. Besides, watch them, I guess. Continue as always. Is that the most desirable option? It keeps my team safer. It lets us watch and wait. It gives us an advantage. But is it what I want? Not really. But it's easier to do things with the acceptance of my teammates in the same way that it makes it harder. Because I want to hurt people in some weird way. And I also really don't want to hurt people. And it's in both respect to my teammates and to my enemies. I think they had a point, or at least had an idea of a point, a conception of a point, with saying that they didn't want to sink lower than us. But they've kind of fucked that up, didn't they? I think they've sunk far, far below what we have. So is it better to sink lower? Good question. I don't know. uh, and it's a hard thing to do to set up all that so late into this. Set the command blocks to set up the fail safes of the fail safe. That I would have probably had to start planning a little earlier. And I didn't start planning because I didn't think I'd ever consider it again. But maybe I'm mad. I don't know. I'm frustrated with my enemies. Like, an action, I don't know. An action is a choice, but it also pisses me off. As we're here with the title, pissing myself off. Because they're not doing anything. Nara had written signs um, in response to us saying that they were going to get worse and they were going to get more evil, I guess. They blew up, like, he blew up Spawn, but that's about it. Like, what we restored. And if they were so keen on inaction or not being there, you'd think they'd want to remove their presence, or at least they'd be for it. You know, might even help. This kind of escalation to a new mythology is so fascinating. Yeah, I can't say I didn't expect this for myself. Um, I think I once said to Blue, well, me and Blue had a really interesting conversation. Um, pre failsafe, like, no, it was post failsafe. It was like a couple weeks after me and Ark had discussed the failsafe plan, where Blue had said, or at least like made clear to me, that Ark was completely abandoning me by doing it. Because that'd be something I'd do alone. It'd be something I didn't really exactly want to do at the time. Because it is a very difficult thing to do. I had experience doing it, like doing that sort of thing on a different server called Brain Rot, where I did this thing called the rapture. Um, I think Minute Swag is right on the biblical theming, but um, in a way, I think nuclear and gods are similar. Um, but me and Blue had a discussion with the the plan, I guess, made clear to me that it it was more it was a plan to harm me, kind of. Um, where I was used as a weapon, but it like when you play your life so much as one, like I am a tool. I am a good teammate. I'm a good weapon. It's what I'm here for. Um, and Ark doesn't really see me that way. Ark never really has, I don't think. Um, and by doing this failsafe plan, you kind of become the bomb. I said to Blue in a little whisper that well, Blue at first called it a murder suicide, which yeah, true. Ark would be killing himself, and I would be killed in the process because the bomb would be doing what it's made to do. But Blue had said something I'd said similar to Ark, um, in the book Wrath, where I'd said that in Ark's book at least that I had mourned Ark, and that in this conversation with Blue, Blue said that he'd mourn me, um, because I'd be dying this way. It'd be my murder. And I told him that you can't really mourn a bomb. you can't you can't really mourn the plutonium and all the little components inside of it. It did what it was supposed to do. It did what it was expected to do, even. And a lot of what me and Mari talked about as well was expectation. What is the server expecting from us? The server is expecting something big, something interesting, and something grand as per usual. And by doing what we're doing, it wouldn't really. You get kind of desensitized to it. um, the scale of things. And at least starting my build projects really helped me like be more calm about it, because at that time the only build we had really done was Chicago. Chicago is fucking massive. Chicago is gorgeous, but it's also too much. It was just far, far too much for any of us, and it wasted a lot of time. And I can't really fault Ark for it, but in the same way, I really do fault Ark for it. I would never, ever, ever say that to Ark's face. Um, like ever, ever. That's like horrible to me, at least. Yeah. I'd said before, near the start of the server, that yeah, I am a tool to be used. That's that's been kind of clear to me. Um, yeah, it just took way too much time, and 45 days to construct it, and around, what was it, a week? A week to build. Um, like hours on hours every day, like at least 10 hours every day. And it was rough. It was really, really rough, and it took a lot of time. We could have started the walls a lot earlier. We should have, because when we had talked to Legion about like, oh, here's what we're doing, here's the time scale, we need to set deadlines. At that point, like about a week later, we officially decided, okay, we'll start the walls today. And Ark had done the math, and it would take about 10 walls every day to complete the maze on time. Each wall takes about 10 or not 10, takes about an hour. So this would only work if everyone was able to participate and put at least some like large scale of hours into it every day, which was implausible. We had help, um, which we honestly didn't expect, um, from particularly Evu and Meep, who built a lot of walls. I think Sari built a couple. Jess built a couple. Oh my god. But ultimately, not nearly enough. Our team wasn't able to invest a lot of time into it because they had their own projects and things to complete. Like, they got their own things to be doing, you know? I got my own things to be doing. And there, Ark had said that he'd felt alone during a lot of the wall building because a lot of it he was alone. Like, objectively, he was alone. Because there was just too many things to do. If it was just the maze, maybe, but we wouldn't be able to have that full group participation without the POIs. And I think the POIs are a very good part, a very essential part, even. But there was just too much time lost. We should have started when we conceived of the plan. And we kind of did. We set up the obsidian farm. We collected the obsidian over a couple months. We have it stored away in secret places. Or at least I have it stored away in secret places. I was the collector of it. Um, but it was flawed, as all big plans go. But it wasn't flawed from the start, which I can I find kind of interesting. Um, it just happened that we ran out of time. Big fear of arcs is that we would lose time or would run out of it, and we did. And it was due to Ark's own perfectionism and idea of scale. Arc is always her own downfall, and I can't fault her for it. But I don't know if she blames anyone. I think it'd be stupid to. Again, something I'd never say to her at all. That'd be terrible. But it is something I think about kind of often. The thing with the Panopticon too was that even at the start of building it, we are like, okay, this is like objectively symbolic of a of a prison of our own creation, of control over ourselves. It's a very, very good metaphor. Oh my god. But we were gonna put Ari Cotton Candy into it, but Ari was just too. Ari's not a big fan of the server as a whole. But Ari did build the clock tower that is going to be at spawn that we do need to build. And I'm gonna suggest that we build it tomorrow, but there's a lot of things to do, and I have a puzzle to make. I'm glad. I'm not very good at talking about this, mostly because but mostly because yeah, this isn't really my speed, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. There's I'm glad because yeah, you don't really see my perspective because I don't stream. And I'm glad a lot more people are streaming. Like I'm so glad Leo9 is streaming. Leo has made some incredible shit. Um oh my god, I'm lagging. And also has very interesting feelings on a lot of things. Leo was the one of the only people to really analyze the lava casts around the angel, and was really the only one to see the beauty in like them. Like, I don't think Leo really appreciated it, but um, I found it like it was art, like to Leo at least. Um, and I have a lot of 2B2T history, so there was like some sort of semblance of a culture. Remember the Murder About Diaries, something about high time? I have not, um, but I'd be inclined to. Murder About Diaries. Yeah, there's a lot of like tool metaphor just in general. Oh, it's hard to say that I'm a tool for others. I'm not really wielded, I guess. How far can you wield a bomb? Like, how much of it is yours? How much of it does it get out of hand? Did they really expect that much devastation? Hard to tell. But something really fun I learned from a class I took, which was about nuclear security, um, was about how they say how like governments or the military says it's nuclear strategy. A fun little topic that was discussed, and I think oh, what book was it? The Evolution of Nuclear War? I don't remember. Um, was they should really be calling it um what they call it? Whoops, forget. Um, not not a nuclear strategy, but like it's a losing plan, basically. It's a losing plan. You don't win a nuclear war. You can't have a nuclear strategy. You are ultimately losing, no matter what. If you pull that bomb, you are losing because whatever cost you inflict is going to be far, far greater than whatever win you get. And yeah, that's one of the big things I thought of when thinking about the failsafe plan. It would be me and me alone, in essence. Mari eventually offered to help, um, at least with the designing of it, but it is a losing plan. You only use nuclear weapons have when you feel there's no other option, and you are usually caught in a really bad position. Unfortunately, it kind of that kind of idea kind of fails um, with the actual use of the nuclear bombs in real life, from at least America's point of view. But it's yeah, that one's a complicated issue. But in Minecraft terms, oh my god. Okay, I have a lot to say about nuclear. Um, considering it is like, oh my god, I feel stupid. This is Minecraft, but it's like this is important to me. I do have like this is kind of my major. Oh my god, I feel so stupid. It's serious to me. It's serious to me. Um, but you kind of like you can kind of see what I mean by it. Like failsafe, we are losing, and we are in a very very good position right now. So using it seems nonsensical. However, there's been a time where it's used as a like it's used as a presentation of power. But in this scenario, I just have this. I didn't earn it, and I think that was like a big point in why we just never went through with it because we didn't earn it. We didn't trick anyone. Yeah, it's always good to apply highbrow academic to our block game roleplay. I really enjoy it. But yeah, it is. It is interesting. Um, oh no, wait, my stairs, my stupid stairs. Oh my god. Yeah, I just don't know a very good option that doesn't like actively display a loss. Because who likes losing? But this is just like wrong to do. It's wrong on a lot of levels, but I read your I read your Tumblr reblogs on I think Angel's post. Yeah, I think Angel's where you talked about how such things, such usages like the area ban were considered an abomination. And they were. They're considered by abomination by Synoptics himself, by I guess not like the area ban, but the use of it. Like how it was used. It was used to hurt the wrong people. Um and it was used impulsively without like a conversation. Um, and it was considered an abomination by everyone that came on the server. Doing this would be the exact same thing. It'd be considered wrong. It'd be considered an abomination in how it was used, or I guess like even the usage itself. Um, I'm gonna be out of andesite, man. Fuck my life. My bad. But and it is the question of, am I okay with that? Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think if I had more teammate support, yeah, obviously not gonna happen. That's and I don't need it. I don't need teammate support. There's a lot of things I can do myself, and it was really something I shouldn't have complained about, I guess. Maybe it was. I don't know. It's hard to tell of what I have the right to complain about or what I don't. Um, because now, oh my god, I'm backtracking. Like I'm completely backtracking whatever I said to Ark. I said to Ark, "Hey, take back your words on this because I don't want to do it." And now here I am contemplating it. But what am I supposed to do? Yeah. It was, yeah, okay. Thank you, Scorch. Yeah, I don't know what to do. How the fuck am I out of stone? Are you actually serious? No, okay. I'm stupid. Okay. Um, but yeah, I'm glad this is like enlightening on the cognitive perspective. Yeah, I don't know. Too many things I don't know. The arms control work podcast I really enjoyed was that we use nuclear weapons every day. We maintain them and staff the silos, planes, and run the subs and all that. It's an active use of power that has an effect on other people. Yeah, it's a. Thank you. Not I do a lot of muted streams, or at least two of them or three. A lot of them don't really share my perspective. This is like the first time I've talked about it. But yeah, it's like we do have these kind of background usages of such things. Like when we had East, which is like we had to run the obsidian farm, and it would do this thing where the wither skeleton skulls would be sent east in the end, and no one would be able to go east or it crashes the server. Fun. Um, but every so often, I'd have to go in creative. I'd have to take off all my shit. I'd have to go east and clear all the like the wither skulls using commands, so that no one else would run into them and crash the server. But those were little uses of that kind of power that I so yearn for, and that were completely accepted. This is not so much. There were times like I'm the main like fixer of the server. I have my own server. I know how this goes. So they kind of trusted me to make sure everything's running fine. So I do things like I expanded the nether border, or not the nether, the end border, because we needed like we had a little vote and we said, hey, we probably need to expand the border. We don't have enough elytras, and it's just a general like quality of life concern. People aren't able to play as they want to, etc., etc. Um, so I'd be like, okay, I know how to do this. I'm gonna be assigned to it. Um, I gotta fix this thing. I gotta fix that thing. Um, so there are these casual uses of it that are accepted in the background. That would just this would go too far. Is the sort of thing. Um, but yeah, it is interesting that you mentioned these like little bits of power that we use because it is very, very present. There are times, there's this one time I had to teleport uh, Chips Eclipse back from the end because I expanded the border wrong. And yet I'm still trusted to fix things because I'm the only one that knows how to. And likewise, I'm the only one that really knows how to deal with the power of godhood, I guess, if you want to call it that. Um, I know a lot about command blocks. I know a lot about this and that. That a lot of other players just don't. And I'm gonna fall. Okay, great. So sometimes it is the question of how far can I go before I'm caught, before things aren't accepted? Would they expect a failsafe? Yeah. Do they know how to prevent every little thing? No. It's a lot of power in my hands that I know what to do with, but I'm not allowed to, and I'm not supposed to. And it'd just be like, I don't know if it'd be fun for everyone, but certainly be interesting. And I think people are expecting it. People have like just in particular has said, "Hey, I think Cognitive might be doing this." Not out of like any presentation of like a plan about it, but just because I had done it in the past, which is fair, completely fair, because here I am, bro. Here I am. I can't help being it. Which is a weird thing to say, I guess. I tend to think I have a lot of control over myself, or at least like, yeah, control over myself. I can't say I control other people that well. I try to. It gives me an advantage, but people do unpredictable things that I don't know what to do with, and I don't think a lot of people know what to do with me either. But at one point, Betty had talked to me about like who I am, but very briefly. The enemy never really asks questions. I've noticed, or they don't really ask the right ones. Um, yeah, okay. Well, it's wrong to say. They do ask questions, though very rarely. It's a lot of us talking to them about things. Partially, I mean, Sari wants to talk to me now. I do need to talk to Sari. Whoops, I forgot about that. Um, but I don't know what Sari's gonna ask of me or anything, but I'm more inclined to questioning than they are, and it'd be something I ask beforehand. I don't think I'm gonna get a good answer, but unlike the enemy, I actually try to do things sometimes to disapproval or whatever. I guess them blowing up bases was a play, but it always just Heaven's Vault was something they should have done first. They should not have blown up Lava Subway. Just bad decisions all around. They don't communicate. It's just a bad scene for them. Can't say I didn't expect it though. Yeah, I think Betty would get a lot more answers if she asked me questions. Um, because I have said plenty of times before that I don't lie. I guess by omission I lie, but I'd say something. I don't think Betty realizes that, and I'm glad because I get a lot of answers. But I didn't really figure out Betty's plan by, or at least Sunset's, I guess, plan by asking Betty questions. I didn't really realize the end thing was happening until the day before because I had found Betty. Oh, I wonder if I was visible on her stream. I think she was streaming. But when she went to that little damn, I am at it. Man, fuck my life. Whatever. We're cheating. But when Betty had gone to that little room in the end, I'd followed her and I was circling above her like a hawk. But she never looked up, so she never saw me. Yeah, I was above her. Um oh, this is Ansite too, man. What? It's okay. But yeah. When she got into that little room, we were kind of I was searching the end because I was kind of conflicted, I'd say. Because we knew of something happening in the Nether. I don't think we ever really figured out what. Or at least bottom Nether. Um where no Discord. Okay, blew the squirrel. Um yeah, we were kind of sure something was happening on the bottom Nether. Um we didn't know what. We knew they were transporting animals. We knew something somewhere was happening. Um and I had thought, hey, the Nether is really, really hard to close off. Wouldn't that be like a problem for them? They have to be doing something else. And they were. So, I didn't know that yet, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna search the end. I'm gonna look for minecarts, for animals, for shit. The end's pretty big. The end is bigger than the overworld. It is, um, how big is it? 7,000? 8,000? I think it's 8,000. Which is a lot more ground to cover. So I got pretty fed up pretty quickly. Um, and so I went back, and then I saw Betty, and Betty went into the small little room, and in that room was nothing you would expect for just a build project, I guess. It was like a hoarding place. That's where you store things. Um, if you want to, let's say, run away. um, so at that point, we had figured out their plan. Um, if I hadn't caught Betty that day, we wouldn't have known, which is interesting. I don't think Betty knows that yet. Or at least that was the only reason that we knew. Well, I guess not the only, the defining reason that we figured it out. but I can't say I haven't lost a lot of sympathy for Betty, considering what they've done to other people at this point. Yeah. Um, we we also our plan for like and like breaking the end portals was going to happen a lot later. It was gonna be on Monday. And then the Sari and Mari thing happened, and then we're like, okay, we're doing this tonight. We were mad. They were rushing a lot of things. Like that was the only day Sari was gonna be available, and Sari had no idea if the rest of Pathogen were gonna be available. So Sari just did that plan on a whim. Like, what if none of Pathogen was available? Would be a lot. We would have been like a lot less prepared, I guess. Like, what if Arc wasn't available for that entire time? So yeah, they were just rushing things. We had a fair bit of deduction on like why. Oh, my buttons. I forgot about my buttons. Um, yeah, we kind of. It was a big chance of okay if they're not doing this, but it was so severe that. Yeah, so interesting. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine being a viewer, seeing all that, and being like, damn, okay. There would have been a lot of things that went wrong after the fact, but it would have not been nearly as like we would have had to do a lot more. Honestly, some part of me like kind of prefers that ending. I guess it wouldn't be an ending, but it'd be like I would have preferred to do that. Like work towards that instead of doing what we're doing now. But we have just been doing this for so damn long that I just you get tired, but what are you to do? Except pray that your enemies win. But we'd always figure something out. There's a pretty big difference between us and them, which is othering in a way, but sometimes I think they other us far too much. But I'd like to have seen what they've done. I would want to see, like, Sin's interesting little exploit. I'd want to see how they'd block off the main island, and I'd want to struggle through that. But it would ruin everything we've worked towards. So it wasn't something I could. You can't bring them back. You can't bring the portals back. Unless. Oh my god. Unless you had access to beautiful creative mode. But how fucked up would that be? I don't want to work with them. I don't want to do what A Thousand Suns wants because I feel like they have hurt people in a way that we just haven't. Like the whole chips thing, oh my god. The whole, like, Mari and Nara's whole situation, I don't think any of that was streamed. But, and there were like personal issues along with that. That it was just like, oh, okay. I don't know the full story to this. I can't really speak on it. Um, what's a cogment is supposed to do, you know? But they've done some pretty fucked up to pathogen members to unintentionally. That was unintentional. But what they did to Chips was pretty intentional. Um, they had the whole Guardian thing was fucked up. Um, to blame, like, Chips willingly at the time took the blame for Sin and Betty killing all the Guardians, but to persist with that lie afterwards and to continue blaming Chips for something that was just completely not Chips's thing, and scapegoated out of like either penance or like whatever Chips did it for. They continued that after the fact, after they had grown poor relations with Chips, and I think that's pretty fucked up. And then Betty went on to say in like a conversation with Chips that um what was it? That Chips had created a negative like self-image when it was really Betty and Sin that made that for Chips, and then continued to be like, ah, no, you're untrustworthy, you're you're evil, you're like bad, or that like whatever Chips did was too drastic when it was never really Chips' fault. And like there's a few things that I don't forgive Chips for, and that I don't necessarily like Chips for, but in the same way that Blue kind of forgave, or didn't forgive, but like accepted that Chips would be working with me because Chips and Blue had that kind of breakup and it was messy and it was generally unkind, that Blue accepted it because what they did to Chips was so fucked up. Like, imagine someone's ex-wife completely siding with them. Someone's ex-wife that they marriage trapped, completely siding with them because you just fucked up so bad. Oh my god, that couldn't be me, bro. I couldn't allow that. Another like amicable per se. I need to get one single, two single. But yeah, they're interesting. Like good on them, I guess, for fucking up relationships so bad that someone's ex-wife has to accept them. But I guess for me, Blue would accept anything I did. Okay, so that was not a geode. Yeah, I don't know what to do with my enemies. I feel like I've been saying I don't know a lot this stream, but I need to find. I'm playing on 2 render distance because my internet gets really bad sometimes. Um, and Ark has said I'm not allowed to go to spawn, so I don't know the geodes in this area, and I can't go to spawn because of the chunk ban. And if I get stuck in that chunk ban, I'm gone forever, basically. So awkward, but that's a geode. Is there a closer one? Yes, maybe these ships. Whatever. We're going there. So I kind of have to. I can't really scan the ocean. I have to look at my map and waypoint my way around and follow the walls. Oh, Atlanta. Atlanta is area banned. Nah, not a new one. Oh, that's the back of it. But if I like fly, yeah, yeah, it's the normal one. Yeah, our normal fucking chunk van. What the hell? Yeah, I can't. I'm not risking that even for a second. So yeah, regular things. What the fuck? Yeah, sure. What the hell? Okay. Which direction? Okay. Yeah, me and Evie4 get stuck on 2 render distance sometimes, so it's really a big concern for us. Vio almost got stuck in it yesterday. Okay, cool. Where am I find the chunk bin interesting at the very least. Big ass fucking wall. What? Okay. and they've sworn off of it in a way where they say they're not going to use it anymore. Um, we still stay on the safer side in case something else is used, like a regular book ban. And Sin kind of inferred recently that it wasn't a redstone component. Like it wasn't ran off redstone, so I'm kind of wondering what the hell it is. Because Sin also. Hmm. What really could it be? How the fuck did I miss that? Wait, I was supposed to get two. Fuck. Oh my god. I hate my life. I hate my life. It's okay. Still got the waypoint. I'm not even mad about it. I'm not even concerned, even. Like, I don't even care. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't. Hmm. If it's not redstone, we kind of assumed it was a redstone thing covered with obsidian. Um. Yeah, my fault. Surely. I don't know if Sim is lying. They're all liars. I don't know what to do with them. We thought it was like a system of hoppers and like dispensers and shit, but it might not be. Eek, eek. I don't know where I am. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good now. We're good now. Yeah. Oh my god. Ark was so they were all stressed. Um, both of them. Am I going the right? Yeah. Okay. We just couldn't get the colors right. We were too mixed up, and yeah, I think I was the only one that knew that Mari was on two hearts at that point. But we got, I think, 8 extra minutes. Not enough time, apparently. The panic really does a lot to a person. I'm not the type to panic at all. I don't think I was very panicked visibly or audibly during that. But I also came in a little late. I don't know. I I do pretty well under pressure. Cause like, what else are you supposed to do? I need actual blocks to do this. Whatever. Crafting table. Go. Eek, I actually don't want to do that. That's scary. I don't want to blow everything up. Yeah, I don't know. Oh my fucking. I'm normal about it. I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't even care. Sorry. Um. Yeah. Hmm. It's kind of hard to remember that whole thing. Bro, do not blow up. Okay. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Okay. Thank God. We're done with this. I just gotta clean up the area of it. Yeah, that thing was stressful. Sarah did a very good job on it. Like, I'm glad it was used in like an interesting way, and that they were allowed to, or at least able to inflict some kind of suffering onto us, because it felt like a little unfair at some points, and I'm glad that was a good breaking point for them, because it was very interesting. I'm proud of them on it, but I just I wish they didn't stop. or that they had like the wherewithal to continue. But I understand this shit's hard. I don't got every hour in the day to be whatever to be doing all this. But like the things they do, like think of or at least complete, is interesting. I know these two are not spawn proof. My beautiful lag. Like Nars. God, I wish Nar debated. Like actually, instead of being so closed off about it. Because it really just made them look terrible. I wish. Oh my god. They could have done so well. They could have presented them so nicely. We gave them a chance to prepare, and they didn't. They weren't expecting to defend themselves. Which is not something I completely understand. Maybe they don't think they need to be understood, but or that they don't need to be liked, and that I don't know. I was a big advocate for Nara becoming a form of like resistance against us. I gave Nara hearts. I gave Betty and Ace hearts. I was really pushing for them, but I get that they don't want to play by the enemy's rules, but there is no way to play against us, is the thing. We made them into who they are, and that's how it goes. They can't really break from it if they can't see it. But to each their own, I guess. I just wish they made for a more interesting show sometimes. That's really a me issue, isn't it? It's not nice to expect a show out of them, but maybe not a show. I just wish they did what they wanted. Is this what they wanted? No. It's not what they wanted. But God, what could they have wanted? Did they want safety? Security? Did they want to be with their loved ones? Do I care? That's a good question. I do care, I think. I care. Oh my god, I hate beasts, bro. I hate beasts. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. I'm too laggy for this shit. And then they just keep spawning, bro. They just keep coming. They call in their stupid ass reinforcements. Oh my god. And I gotta cover this up. Oh wait. I think Blue at one point called me a force of nature. Maybe it was Mari. I think Mari called me a force of nature. I'd. Ark was very against that. I remember Ark being like, no, don't call him that. But. I can't say I disagree with it. need to write books. 2 books. I need to cover up the area more with lights. And I need to take these shulkers back. Do I have more per lesson? Good question. No, I don't. We're going to have to use Verdant. I don't exactly know what to do with myself. I'm just doing what I usually do. Okay, let's make a plan. Let's talk to Mari. No, I shouldn't talk to Mari first. That leads bad things. I should talk to Ark first. I say, yo, imagine if I did this. And Ark says, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I don't do that thing. Cool. What then? I can't do this thing? And then we continue as always. What can I tell Ark that will get me what I want? That sounds bad. But I can say, well, were we really gonna complete anything anyway? Nope, that sounds unkind. That's unkind to Ark. I can say, maybe I can tell Ark how I feel. No, I can say, what can I say? If I frame it like, if I want to do this thing, Ark can't really stop me? That sounds just too threatening, doesn't it? Do I really want to do it? That's a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. Is it better to continue as per usual? Is it better not to get what I want in this scenario? Will it hurt too many people? Is that something I should care about? A lot of good questions that I can ask myself. I don't think I'm finding an answer anytime soon. But our Morning Glories project is done. I can't fucking see it. Where am I? Okay. Where the... Okay, cool. Blue has sent me a very scary DM saying that they'll forgive me no matter what. Um, interesting. Yeah, I wish we could see it all without me crashing into anything horrific. Let's see. What render distance can I do? 6. Let's check my internet. Yeah, Blue sends me messages like that all the time. I don't think Blue is actually like saying anything mean by it, but it is kind of scary with what we're talking about. But Blue is very destructive, so I I don't doubt that he'd be completely for this plan. He actually wants it. He actually wants it really badly. I cannot give it to them. Um, and yeah, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do this plan. So I guess I'll need to figure something else out. That isn't talk about my feelings to Archaeopteryx. Oh my god, I don't want to do that. Uh, I'm gonna have to. I'm really gonna have to. But yeah, thank you. It's a very simple build, but Morning Glories, Van and Jest haven't really done a lot for the server um, at all. They kind of played their own little game in their own little La La Land. So the build is supposed to, I guess, mimic a mirror in a sense. Um, and also be a cathedral window while having morning glories and other such things on it. Um, and their little puzzle is there's another member of the server called Evu, um, who will be with them, and they will be trying to figure out what the hell has happened. They will be summarizing and having a little quiz on the server, which is funny, um, at least to me. And Evu will be the little ghost that helps them. Pretty simple. It had to be simple. Both because they didn't make too much of an impact on the server and because we are out of time. So, very fun, very awesome. And yeah, imagine talking about your feelings on the Having Feelings Minecraft server. Well, that's how they play it. I play it very differently, in a sense. I've never talked about my, like, feelings this in depth until now, and most of it turns out to be, like, summaries and little tidbits of what other people have said instead of I think people can just explain their feelings a lot better than what I can. Mostly because a lot of what I feel is very different, at least. That's kind of weird to say, but I think it's stranger than what other people on the server want or think. I think I can find common ground with Mari, but not completely. There's an extent to how far you can understand a person, and I've been treated very, very differently than a lot of people on the server. I'm okay with anything. I can be torn apart, but it's very hard to. At the very start of the server, or not the very start, but a couple weeks in, I had an issue with, or not an issue, but people are generally very scared of me and treat me like any kind of danger when I'm like whenever I'm nearby. And that created an issue with personhood. A very interesting part of pathogen is, at least on my side of things, is personhood. How much can you do for people if what you want is different than what other people want? Should you discard your own needs because you have only known yourself as a tool? Or should you find personhood through discussion and acting like a person? There's not a lot I have to say, is the thing. And I think a natural force is a lot more descriptive of a lot better description for me than a tool ever was. However, there's a pretty good perception from at least, I think, an enemy's point of view, where I am more wielded than anything. I've yet to see otherwise, but it is interesting. I don't know the difference between what my allies and my enemies feel. It's hard to say if. Oh my god. It's hard to say if they're not one and the same, but Arc is certainly different in viewing me. And I guess, I don't know. I have died. I have died very recently, and I was able to be killed because I was acting stupid. Oh my god, that was such a terrible fight. I was doing so bad. But, um, yeah, I have no idea what other people think of me, and I doubt they have any idea of what I think of them. Besides, like, maybe Betty, maybe Ark, but I bet Ark's still conflicted on me. Um, we hold each other in very high regards. It's just complicated. It's always, always complicated. Not to me, though. I understand it. I'm gonna end stream. It is 3:44 a.m., and I promised I would not go to bed before or after 4, so finish my shit. God bless. Thanks for coming to my beautiful stream. Oh my god. Talking's hard.